What's up, guys? Joel Hoffman here, coming to you straight from the underground. Underground motivation, lifting people from rock bottom. What I want to talk to you guys about today is fear. Fear is one of the most destructive forces on this earth. It cripples people. It's a dream killer. It takes your chance to be great. Fear has been something that I've overcome in my life, and I know fear is something that we all have to deal with. It's something that's built into our brain. It's why we have fight or flight. It's a lot of times I see people scared to do things, and I can give myself a little credit on this one whenever I know that I've had to overcome a lot of fears and I've took steps, and I've never really backed down from too many things in my life. So what I want to help you guys do is overcome whatever fear you have. Maybe it's social anxiety. Maybe it's stepping outside of your comfort zone and starting to be an entrepreneur, starting your own business. Maybe it's becoming somebody different that you didn't used to be, whether it might be overcoming drugs or anger or alcohol, or maybe you're getting out of a bad relationship and you need to overcome fear to be able to get in a new relationship because you deserve that. And whenever we're in bad relationships, a lot of times we know it's really hard to trust people. So maybe you need to learn how to trust. And there's all these fears that we have that are built into our subconscious mind that we're taught from the day that we're born. So if we don't overcome these fears, when we have no chance to grow, no chance to expand, and no chance to truly be great and evolve to what we could possibly be and get to the top, because we really don't know what's possible until we overcome those fears and give 120%. So what I wanted to tell you guys a little story, and whenever it happened, I was like, man, I wish somebody was here that I could just could see this. But just to kind of preempt the story, when I was younger, I was going over to my dad's house and I was introduced to this dog named Rocky, and he was a vicious dog, man. He was over there in Pleasant Grove, the bad side of town, and he was always trapped in the fence. Anybody came by, he was like a junkyard dog. It was his job to keep him out. So whenever new people came around, he had to do his thing. So whenever I first came around, he was growling at me one day. I was just walking through the yard. I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was going outside to get something out of the cooler, and here he come barking at me. So I took off running. The dog, bam, he got me in the back of the leg, and I was like, son of a gun, man, this dog bit me. And I was mad at him, and my dad was like, this is what he's trained to do. Don't run from him, because he'll get you every time. It's dogs are going to bite. You run, they're going to bite you. So I had always kept that in the back of my mind. So I think it was about a little over a year and a half ago, I was jogging around the block, and it was nighttime. I would get off work and it would be 11, 12 o'clock at night. And I felt it was my duty to go put in a couple miles. So here I am running, and I was coming into kind of a wooded area in between some houses, and 3 dogs came out. I heard the paws on the ground. They're barking. I remember one of them was a blue heeler. I hate them because, they bite. And I was like, oh my God, like I stopped, and my immediate reaction is like, man, I guess I have to fight them, because if I run, they're definitely going to get me. So I turned around and I just screamed, what's up then? And I started running back after them, and they tucked their tails and ran like if I had shot a gun at them or something. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Nobody will ever believe this, but it's the truth. And so I walked down the road, got away a little bit, and I continued my run. But I thought about it, and I was just thinking about it today. And because I know there's a lot of people that just have a really hard time overcoming their fears and that need some courage. I want to help you have that courage with that story. It shows you that if you overcome your fear, then you have a chance at winning. But if you run away from your fear, you're going to get bit in the ass every time. So know that every time you're running away from your fear, you're eventually going to get bit in your ass. You're missing out. Just a little secret on this. I really do not like cameras. I really don't like filming myself. I don't have a problem talking to people. I'm talking to 1,000. I don't know how many people without a problem. I've always been in sales, but I really have a problem with this camera thing. And I really don't like making videos and stuff, but God keeps speaking to me, and I feel like I have to do this. So, I hope that somebody's getting some inspiration from this. I hope that you know that every time that you run from your fear, you're going to get bit in the ass. And I hope you find the courage to turn around and fight that stuff back, because if you do, then you have a chance to win. You have a chance to beat whatever that you're fighting, whether it might be addiction. If you fight back against your addiction and do the things that you need to do, whether it may be a 10 meeting, if it's not a 10 meetings to read or pray or meditate or work out or whatever it's going to do to better yourself. I can promise you, if you're doing nothing to better yourself, shit's never going to change. It's never going to get different. If you're doing the same thing, if you're sitting on the couch every day, or if you're working at a job that you really don't like, and you're not going home and you're not putting in extra effort to gain new skills or gain new knowledge, if you're not looking at your weaknesses and trying to strengthen them and make them better, then you're discrediting yourself, and don't expect to get to this extra level, to this next step, unless you're doing things like that. A lot of times people, they pray and they just want God, they expect God to come out and do these things whenever it's like faith without works is dead. Whatever you believe in, whatever God believe in, whether you're, I guess, agnostic or you believe in yourself or whatever it is, like you're never going to do anything unless you really try, and if you overcome those fears. So think about your weaknesses. A lot of people I see, like Gary Vee says, worry about your strengths, don't worry about your weaknesses. Fuck your weaknesses. Whenever I say recognize your weaknesses and get at least average at those things. That way, whenever you're dealing with all the things that we have to deal with in the world or the workplace, that you don't have any deficiencies. You eliminate your deficiencies and you eliminate those fears one at a time. So I want you to think about something that you've been fearful to, whether maybe you fear that if you go work your ass off in the gym, that you're not going to lose weight. Maybe that's your fear. Maybe that's what you need to overcome. Maybe that you fear that if you stop smoking cigarettes, that you're gonna gain weight, or you're gonna have more anxiety. There's all these fears that if you stop drinking alcohol, that you're gonna have more anxiety. That if you stop taking this anxiety medication or these pain meds, that you're not gonna be able to perform the same in sales at work. It's bullshit. It's just a bullshit fear, which comes down to excuse. Fears are really excuses. There's all these instances in life where you can find people that had courage, that overcome things, that did great fucking things. Follow those people. Find somebody to mimic and be after, and find the things they did great. Somebody that you love, and find what they did to overcome those fears and do them. Today is the day to overcome your fucking fears. You can do it. Be the best that you can be, because you owe it to yourself. If you run from fear, it'll bite you in the ass every time.